Once a magnetic force in moonlighting, Sybil Shepherd's rebellious charisma lit up screens when TV ruled primetime. Now at 75, her platinum hair softened. She chooses indie stages and activism over glossy shoots, showing how a blonde bombshell can age into a truth-teller who challenges Hollywood's stale rules. Like ocean waves forever replaying 10, O'Derek's sun-kissed allure reshaped beauty ideals in the 70s. Today, 68 and silver blonde, she rides calmer tides, breeding horses, championing veterans' causes, unbothered by fleeting studio spotlights. She proves a golden mane can lead to a life far richer off-screen. Remember Cheryl Ladd's dazzling grin on Charlie's Angels posters? That effervescent charm made her a household name in TV's golden era. Now 73, her cropped blonde hair frames a writer and singer who turned typecasting into freedom, showing Hollywood that an angel's wings can spread beyond predictable roles. Once shimmering in WKRP in Cincinnati, Lonnie Anderson's comedic spark and teased blonde hair defined sitcom glamour. At 79, her style is softer, her stride more deliberate, yet she mentors young talent, using past fame as currency for change. She swapped studio laughter for heartfelt causes. Once swaggering beside Sinatra with pistol charm and defiant grace, Angie Dickinson now reflects from the quiet of her 90s, hair silvered, voice steady. From TV's policewoman to film noir's femme fatale, her path blazed roles for tough, alluring women beyond just the pretty frame. Like a gap-toothed grin carved into fashion's marble, Lauren Hutton rewrote beauty rules. Once the cool muse of Halston and 70s cinema, she now walks lightly in her 80s, advocating age pride and natural grace. From cover star to wellness voice, she reshaped the industry's mirror. In a swirl of pink chiffon and genie smoke, Barbara Eden ruled TV magic as I Dream of Jeannie. Decades later, at 93, she dons crisp blazers and charity ribbons, playful still, but now channeling energy into uplifting causes, not sitcom spells. Stardom gave way to service. Private Benjamin once marched comedy into feminist territory. Goldie Hawn's fizzy brilliance and rebellious giggle defined a genre. Today, nearly 80, she nurtures minds through mindfulness education, trading red carpets for classrooms while keeping her golden aura fiercely intentional. Like sharp wit bound in blonde ambition, Candice Bergen's Murphy Brown broke newsroom norms and glass ceilings on 80s TV. Now 79, her silvered bob mirrors a mind still curious, writing memoirs, guest starring on streaming hits. She shows how a blonde icon can pivot from punchlines to powerful prose and quiet rebellion. Remember courtside cameras catching Diane Cannon's electric smile? This blonde firecracker dazzled 70s screens and Lakers games alike. At 88, her hair's soft gold but spirit fierce, directing indie films, writing about faith, guiding youth. Her legacy beams wider than any marquee. Before we continue these amazing celebrity transformations, here's a quick challenge for you. Can you subscribe to Then vs. Now Legends in the next 5 seconds? Smash that subscribe button and join us on this journey through time with your favorite stars. Like a spotlight in a smoky Vegas lounge, Susan Anton's statuesque glow and playful charm captivated late 70s variety shows. Now 74, her layered blonde hair frames a life devoted to cabaret stages, voice work, and wellness advocacy. She turned the glitter of brief fame into encore of reinvention. Once Europe's blonde enchantress in 60s comedies, Elke Sommer charmed Hollywood with daring roles and a luminous mane. Now 84, her hair a snowy crown, she paints vivid canvases instead of performing for cameras, choosing art shows over studios. She defied fleeting trends, crafting a legacy that lives on. Once a wisp of mod rebellion in lashes and limb, Twiggy floated through the 60s like a fashion haiku. Now 75, she embraces softer fabrics and fuller wisdom, designing and advocating with quiet precision. From icon to iconoclast, she redefined what it meant to age in the spotlight. Her windswept poster smile launched a million walls. Farrah Fawcett was more than Charlie's Angel. She was fire in feathered hair. Before her 2009 passing, she battled illness publicly, turning her final act into activism. Fame faded, but courage reframed her legacy. Picture her in satin and shadows, captivating as Vicky Vale. Kim Basinger's icy mystique made noir modern again. Now 71, with silver streaks and fewer spotlights, she invests in animal rights and wellness, quietly rewriting fame's contract on her own fiercely private terms. As Catwoman, she slinked into legend, smoky-eyed, whip-smart, untamed. Michelle Pfeiffer still commands presence at 67, choosing rare roles and clean beauty ventures over constant exposure. Once box office gold, now a model of selective, graceful evolution in an industry obsessed with speed. Remember Heather Locklear's rebellious charm igniting Melrose Place drama? In the 90s, her blonde layers and sly smirk turned soaps into primetime gold. Now at 63, her hair's softer, her steps more mindful. She advocates for recovery and mental health, showing how a tabloid target reclaimed her narrative, far from scripted scandal. Like a satin glove brushing old Hollywood dreams, Morgan Fairchild's icy blonde elegance ruled 80s soaps. Now 75, her sleek bob and bold gowns remain, but she's turned fame into activism, fighting AIDS stigma, mentoring newcomers. She proves a blonde screen siren can age into a savvy force for change. Once the wide-eyed rebel of Working Girl, Melanie Griffith's breathy charm and tousled blonde locks broke box office ceilings in the 80s. Now 67, her style's understated, her focus inward, supporting recovery communities, championing animal welfare. She traded studio buzz for healing calm. Picture Kathleen Turner's smoky voice and fearless blonde allure commanding body heat. In the 80s, she defied typecasts with fierce roles. At 71, her hair shorter, posture resilient, she owns the stage and lectures on gender equity. Arthritis slowed her stride, not her fire. She rewrote age as Hollywood royalty. Once the seductive spark in risky business, Rebecca de Mornay lit up screens with icy allure and layered intensity. Now 65, her blonde waves softer, she stepped away from stardom's frenzy, choosing privacy and selective roles over the glare, proving mystery can age with elegance. She dove from cliffs as a shimmering mermaid in Splash. Now Daryl Hannah plants trees and protests pipelines. At 64, with sunlined skin and untamed hair, she shifted from ethereal icon to eco-warrior, living proof that beauty can evolve into fierce purpose. Like a thunderstorm captured in celluloid, Jessica Lange brought fierce grace to every frame. At 76, with regal poise and silvered strength, she reigns in prestige TV and Broadway. Once a screen siren, now a master of character depth, her glow is all fire, no flash. From sitcom sweetheart and bosom buddies to real-life Hollywood royalty, Donna Dixon embodied bubbly charm. Today at 68, largely out of the spotlight, she supports humanitarian causes alongside family. Her legacy not in headlines, but the quiet architecture of compassion. Like a flint sparking headlines, Sharon Stone's basic instinct glare froze the 90s in Scandalous. Her platinum hair and defiant stare redefined femme fatale. Now 67, her cropped blonde style matches a spirit focused on art, human rights, and memoirs, proving she's more than a scene, but a voice for justice. Remember Charlene Tilton's impish grin lighting up Dallas as Lucy Ewing? Her petite frame and feathered blonde hair turned primetime soap into pop culture gold. Now 66, her look softer yet lively. She mentors child actors, appears at fan expos, and uplifts single parents. Once regal as Crystal Carrington on Dynasty, Linda Evans' graceful poise and iconic blonde coif made her a symbol of 80s TV opulence. Now 82, her hair snowy, her gaze serene, she gardens, writes, and shares wellness insights, choosing nature's calm over Hollywood's chaos. Like a tide that never recedes, Pamela Anderson's lifeguard sprint on Baywatch made her a 90s phenomenon. Her tousled blonde hair remains, but at 58, she's unplugged, ditching heavy makeup for fresh skin, championing animal rights and writing memoirs. She proves a beach blonde bombshell can redefine fame on her own terms. She won an Oscar in Pink Taffeta and spoke Shakespeare's name. Now Gwyneth Paltrow, 52, sells wellness elixirs and quiet detachment. From silver screen royalty to Goop Guru, she traded scripts for strategy, reshaping fame into a brand that challenges, polarizes, and reinvents. Like a Molotov cocktail and mascara, Courtney Love set the 90s ablaze with punk rage and raw talent. Now 60, her voice softer but still sharp. She floats between music, memoir, and advocacy. No longer the riot, but still the reckoning. Her edges evolved, not erased. She once smoldered in The Nutty Professor and danced through 60s comedies with sly charm. Before her 2023 passing, Stella Stevens battled Alzheimer's in quiet dignity. The bombshell faded, but her legacy simmers, proof that charisma doesn't age, it echoes. She screamed through Mulholland Drive and haunted dreams with porcelain poise. Naomi Watts, now 56, embraces streaming roles and indie risk. Her looks evolved, softer lines, sharper instincts, but her drive remains relentless, carving space for complex women on modern screens. Remember Meg Ryan's effervescent charm lighting up When Harry Met Sally? Her messy blonde curls and bright laugh crown her rom-com queen of the 90s. Now 63, her style is subtler, her gaze more introspective, directing indie films, raising her family, and guarding her quiet life. Like a lightning bolt in leather, Bridget Nielsen's towering blonde presence electrified Red Sonja and 80s tabloids. Now 61, her platinum buzzcut and bold suits turn heads in different ways, embracing late motherhood, reality TV, and memoirs. She flipped the action star cliché, showing reinvention doesn't shrink with age. Once the wry blonde anchor of Deep Impact and The Naked Truth, Tia Leone's calm wit made her a 90s standout. Now 59, her sandy hair is cut sharper, her presence grounded. She led Madam Secretary, championing strong roles for women behind and before the camera. She reveals how a smart blonde can wield power. Like bottled sunshine in There's Something About Mary, Cameron Diaz's carefree laugh and beachy blonde hair defined 90s rom-coms. Now 52, she swapped red carpets for vineyards and wellness books, embracing family, privacy, and organic wine. She proves Hollywood's blonde can trade studio lights for real-life glow. Once the statuesque assassin in Atomic Blonde, Charlize Theron now balances action roles with activism at 49. Her sleek edge softened into mentorship. Her style evolved, cropped hair, grounded presence. From icy beauty to fierce advocate, she reshaped strength beyond spectacle. Like silk stitched with steel, Nicole Kidman has weathered decades of transformation. At 58, the once red carpet ingenue now commands prestige dramas with emotional precision. Her blonde aura persists, but her impact has deepened, less dazzle, more direction. She danced through sitcoms with feathered hair and comic timing. Now 53, Christina Applegate confronts multiple sclerosis with brutal honesty and wit. Her style's pared down, her stance unflinching, turning personal pain into powerful advocacy on and off screen. As Mystique, she shimmered blue and bold. Rebecca Romijn brought danger to model-perfect beauty. Now 52, she helms sci-fi series and family life with calm command. The blonde bombshell era passed, but she thrives in control, not illusion. Like a raw nerve wrapped in blonde grit, Patricia Arquette's offbeat charisma lit up true romance and indie gems. Now 57, her tousled blonde hair is cropped, her presence sharper. She commands streaming hits, champions pay equality, and produces bold stories. She shows how an unconventional blonde can steer new wave. Remember Uma Thurman slicing through villains in Kill Bill? Her fierce gaze and iconic blonde bob made vengeance stylish. Now 55, her hair flows softer, her roles deeper, balancing Broadway, indie films, and activism for assault survivors. She proves an action blonde can wield her real power off-screen. Once the ethereal Princess Buttercup, Robin Wright's quiet strength and soft blonde hair defined 80s fantasy. Now 59, her sleek blonde cut frames a powerhouse. She directed House of Cards, advocates for Congo aid, and shaped stories behind the lens. She turned fairy tale sweetness into a force reshaping Hollywood's old guard. Remember Linda Day, George's sharp poise unraveling plots in Mission Impossible? Her golden hair and elegant presence made her a TV staple in the 70s. Now 80, her blonde locks have silvered, her spotlight traded for church work and family ties. She stepped away from fame's chase. She once wore Wonder Woman's cuffs before Linda Carter and charmed talk show audiences with sporty grace. Now 80, Kathy Lee Crosby lives far from fame's fast lane. Her sun-streaked hair faded but her tenacity intact, proof that early icons don't vanish. They evolve beyond the frame. Like a jukebox echo in a quiet diner, Connie Stevens still hums with 60s sparkle. At 86, the Hawaiian Eye star no longer sings for the spotlight, but builds legacies, founding medical clinics and uplifting veterans. Her glow shifted from fame to fierce compassion. She bantered with young Frankenstein and danced through talk shows with screwball charm. After stepping back due to multiple sclerosis, Terry Garr, now 77, lives more privately, her humor intact, her strength quieter. The punchlines paused, but her impact still reverberates. A Bond girl with a Nordic lilt, Britt Ekland once defined 70s allure. Now 82, with platinum hair and candid wit, she critiques fame's toll while embracing stage roles and memory's weight. From screen siren to outspoken survivor, she never lost her voice, only raised it. Like thunder in leather, Sybil Danning's fierce blonde energy stormed 80s cult films with rebellious charisma. Now 73, her mane shorter, but her spirit just as bold, she champions B-movie nostalgia at fan expos, writes scripts, and uplifts indie horror. Remember Jean's smart, sly brilliance lighting up designing women? Her wry smile and chic blonde style gave 80s sitcoms bite. Now 73, her layered bob and sharp timing anchor prestige TV, winning Emmys for complex roles, defying ageist casting. She proves a comedic blonde can age into a dramatic titan. Once a radiant muse in Grease, Olivia Newton-John's sunlit blonde hair and effervescent voice defined pop innocence. Until her passing in 2022, she wore her golden crown lightly, advocating for cancer research, recording gentle ballads, and inspiring millions. Like a poster pinned in countless 80s dorm rooms, Heather Thomas's bright smile and feathered blonde hair made the Fall Guy iconic. Now 67, her style is more natural, her mission deeper, writing novels, fighting political corruption, and mentoring women in Hollywood. She turned a pin-up image into a pen that can't be silenced. She lit up too close for comfort with breezy charm and blonde confidence. Now 71, Lydia Cornell speaks at recovery events and writes candidly on spiritual growth. Her smile remains, but now it's framed by purpose, not punchlines. The sitcom star became a survivor's voice. Like a dream filmed in Technicolor, Kim Novak drifted through Hitchcock's lens as mystery incarnate. Now 92, she paints an Oregon solitude, far from fame's demands. Her features softened, her gaze inward. She turned her back on Hollywood to truly find herself. In bouncing pigtails and short shorts, she became Chrissy Snow, America's sitcom sweetheart. Before her 2023 passing, Suzanne Summers redefined herself as a wellness entrepreneur and cancer warrior. Her image was light, but her legacy was grit, resilience, and reinvention. She was the original blonde archetype, Marilyn Monroe, both symbol and soul. Since her 1962 death, generations have reinterpreted her, a muse, a cautionary tale, a woman undone by fame's machinery. Though gone, her shadow still shapes every blonde who followed. Like a fairy tale etched in film reels, Grace Kelly's regal blonde elegance bridged Hollywood and royalty in the 50s. Her serene beauty crowned Rear Window and Monaco's palace alike. Until her tragic passing in 1982, she championed arts and children's charities, showing how Screen Siren became a real-world queen. Once the original platinum blonde, Jean Harlow's rebellious sparkle and peroxide hair shocked 30s audiences and redefined sex appeal. Her sudden passing in 1937 froze her legend in scandal and shimmer, yet her bold image broke taboos, paving the way for every blonde rebel who dared to twist Hollywood's rules. Picture Veronica Lake's peekaboo blonde waves veiling half her face. Her sly allure made wartime noir unforgettable. Though she passed in 1973, her signature style lives on in fashion runways and retro dreams. Behind the fame, she battled studio control and reinvention. Like neon burning after dark, Jane Mansfield's playful blonde persona lit up 50s pulp screens and scandal sheets. Her tragic death in 1967 sealed a myth of pink limousines and fearless self-promotion. Beyond the curves, she was a savvy businesswoman who turned shock into currency. Like a sunbeam sealed in vinyl grooves, Doris Day sang and smiled through post-war screens. Before her 2019 passing, she lived quietly among rescued animals, far from Hollywood's noise. From box office queen to gentle recluse, her final act was compassion over curtain calls. She once stood defiant as birds swarmed Hitchcock's lens. Now at 95, Tippi Hedren walks among rescued lions, her Hollywood days behind her. From ice blonde muse to fierce animal activist, her journey roared louder off-screen than any thriller ever could. Discovered at a soda fountain and crowned a silver screen siren, Lana Turner epitomized glamour. Before her 1995 death, she reflected openly on scandal, loss, and endurance. Her blonde allure faded, but her mythos remained fragile, complex, and undeniably cinematic. Her legs were insured, her smile painted on bomber planes. Betty Grable was WWI's ultimate pinup. Before her 1973 passing, she quietly stepped out of the limelight, replaced by a changing industry. Yet her image still echoes, frozen mid-kick in America's memory. Like a whisper of old Hollywood grace, Eva Marie Saint's poised blonde beauty stole scenes in North by Northwest. Now 101, her soft hair turned silver, she keeps sharing wisdom at film tributes and panels, proof the Hitchcock blonde can outlive studio systems, mentoring new generations. Remember Reese Witherspoon's perky brilliance redefining blonde ambition in Legally Blonde? Her sunny hair and sharp wit made courtroom comedies iconic. Now 49, her style is polished yet unfussy, producing feminist hits, championing female authors, and reshaping streaming deals. Like a spark wrapped in silk, Scarlett Johansson's husky voice and shifting blonde looks powered lost in translation to Marvel Heights. Now 40, her hair bobs between platinum and honey, co-producing indie films, suing for fair pay, and balancing motherhood. She proves a blockbuster blonde can fight for more than box office crowns. Once a chameleon crowned golden for Elizabeth, Cate Blanchett's icy blonde versatility redefined what leading ladies could be. Now 56, her pale hair shifts shades for each fierce role, while she heads global arts boards, produces daring films, and champions climate action. She shows a cerebral blonde can serve bigger causes. Like a fleeting breeze through a field of wildflowers, Julie Christie brought wistful brilliance to 60s cinema. Now 85, she lives far from fame's stage, her golden hair silvered, her voice grounded. The screen lost a star, but gained a legend who chose depth over spotlight. She roller skated into cult fame as Roller Girl in Boogie Nights. Now 55, Heather Graham writes, directs, and embraces aging with defiant grace. Her blonde locks remain, but she commands the camera from behind it too, proving longevity comes with creative control. Once the Fang prodigy in Interview with a Vampire, Kirsten Dunst matured into indie royalty with layered restraint. Now 43, her style more subdued, her choices sharper, she balances motherhood and prestige roles, rewriting the arc of a former teen icon. She sizzled in Baby Doll, scandalous and statuesque. Carol Baker challenged 50s norms with fierce sensuality. Now 94, she's long retired, platinum hair thin but legacy intact. More than a siren, she broke barriers for complex, unapologetic female characters. Once dubbed Britain's answer to Marilyn, Diana Dore's bombshell blonde allure teased scandal and wit across 50 screens. Her curves and sharp tongue broke British taboos until her passing in 1984. Beyond the headlines, she penned memoirs and championed animal welfare, showing a peroxide blonde could wield brains and heart behind the gloss. Like a rose with hidden thorns, Verna Lisi's cool blonde mystique challenged Hollywood's typecasting in the 60s. She stunned with How to Murder Your Wife, then defied starlet traps by returning to Europe's daring cinema. Until her passing in 2014, her elegant hair framed bolder roles. Remember Mamie Van Doren's rebellious blonde pout shaking 50s censorship? Her bombshell curves rivaled Monroe's, but her spirit was brasher. Now 94, her platinum hair remains bright, her voice sharp. She writes memoirs, appears at rock shows, and defends free speech. She turned the blonde stereotype into defiance. Then versus Now Legends is feeling a bit lonely. 99% of you haven't subscribed yet. Show us some love and hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you the jaw-dropping journeys of your favorite stars. And if you're as fascinated by then and now glow-ups as we are, check out our previous videos. Trust us, they're totally worth your time and ours too.